Hey, what's going on, guys? So today, woke up late again. There's a lot of stuff going on at work. So I traded a number of different stocks. Had a lot of losers today. So I started out with QCOM. Let me see if I can go back to 1 minute. Uh, so for QCOM, I saw that it popped up and it was making a high, but it looked like it was going to made a new lower high. It looked like it was going to do a reversal back to a VWAP. That was what I was aiming for, so I went short, added to it at this level because it's like right at the newer high. Maybe this is a double top. And that didn't happen. It actually popped up, made another high. I guess in retrospect, I guess this is a double top with this almost. But I was a little nervous because this can just keep on running, so I just exited. Suffered a loss on that one. That's quite a big loss because. But it is what it is. So lost like $300 on this trade, and right after I exit, that's when the stock collapsed. But yeah, well, it is what it is. So it was a good move to get stopped out. So I don't regret it. It is what it is. That's QCOM. I did a trade on T-Mobile as well. It was holding this level for a long time. So looking at it, I thought it was going to pop up. The reason for it was holding this level too is if we look at the 60-minute chart. It's sitting right on the SMA, so it made me comfortable of going long. So I went in, small size. Like I usually take small tester size, so I went in long. It didn't really do anything. It looked like it was flatlining, and it started to creep down on level 2. That's when I got out because one of the dangers of taking it at those levels is once it goes below the SMA for too much, if it's too much below this, then this becomes the resistance. And then it would prevent it from really popping up higher and whatnot. So I didn't want that to happen because if it drops here and even if it pops up, it'll go back to here and I'll still be at a loss, etc. So since I had a small size, I took another loss and got out. So that was that. And then I also took ENPH. This ENPH. So I took ENPH. This one is a winner, small size winner though. So I saw that it hit this level, which was level resistance. I went short right above it, added to it, afterwards. It sort of bounced around there, and I kind of feel comfortable about that because if we take 15 minute, you go all the way back. There are some levels up here which corresponded to this. So I was comfortable that it didn't break through that. If it did, also same here, if it did break through those levels, I would have gotten out. But since it did not, I let it bounce. And I took some partials off here just in case it does bounce. It didn't happen, and then it collapsed. But then I set it up to get off close to VWAP. So that's what happened. It got off close to VWAP, and then it tanked. So I only made a small amount of ENPH. CRWD, I also lost money on this stock. I went long. It was holding this level. I went long again, like I said, right at the level. It didn't do anything. I made a mistake here. I added instead of getting out. There was a hotkey mistake. I didn't want to add, so that mistake wasn't like a mental mistake. It was just a hotkey mistake. So I quickly got out. I was done with that. I made back some of those losses here when it dropped, and then this was there's 2 levels of support. So I did a small position here. I added to it down here. It popped, and then I got out. I didn't realize it would pop much higher than that, but it is what it is. You can't predict it. I got out because it's close to the SMA. This was a weak stock all day. I was afraid it would continue to drop further, kind of like what it did later on in the day. So I got all out. So that was that. Biggest win for the day, which made today a positive day, was BBBY. So it popped up, and I looked back at 15 minute. I think this is a 15-minute chart. There's this level of rejection here, and so when it got close to that, I went in. First, a small teaser size for this because it's a cheap stock. That was like 1,000 shares or something like that. And then I saw that it did pop up, and then level 2 started to turn against it. Then I went in heavy. I actually added a couple of times, several thousand shares. Now I think like at 3,000 or 4,000 shares, it dropped, and I got out a lot here. It popped up again, and so I added back what I got out. Now at this point, I think I got out quite a few, and then I added back. So now I still have like 2,000 shares at this point. It dropped and then covered off. Retrospect, that was a mistake because then it really collapsed. I could have made a lot more money. But either way, this made up for all my losses, and yeah, and the day positive, so it's all good. So yeah, so I had some bad trades. I liked the way I traded today. It wasn't too crazy. This one is a bit risky, even though it did have this pop, but this long tail, long wick here. But to me, it was kind of risky for the position that I took. Like I took a really heavy size here. I think like 4,000 or 5,000 at this point after all the ads and stuff like that. But yeah, other than that, I think I'm pretty happy with the way I traded. This was a bit too risky. It was a good move, but probably 2,000, 3,000 was probably the max of my comfort level. I took double that size, so that's the only bad comment I had for myself today. There was not any other strong indicators. If there was like a bunch of resistance levels here, then that would have been okay. But anyway, so that was my only critique of myself. Otherwise, peace out. Hope you guys enjoy your day. Bye.